Chapter 6 covers telecommunication and networking. Before we study this chapter, we need to know how computers store data. All forms of computer data are stored and represented by bits, which are zeros and ones. Bit depth is the number of bits of information in each sample. We can use 8 bits of data to store characters. ASCII is one of the character encoding standard. We can also use bits to represent color. 1 bit can store 2 colors, which are usually black and white. 2 bits can store 4 colors, and 8 bits can store 2 to the power of 8 colors, which is 256 colors. We can see the difference between 1 bit image, 2 bits image, and 8 bits image from the figures in the slide. Also, we can use bits to store audio. Recall that bit depth is the number of bits of information. The typical audio bit depth is 16 bits. Okay, also we need to know the definition of two concepts, network and telecommunications. Network is two or more computers interconnected by a cable or alternatively by a wireless connection like Wi-Fi. Telecommunication is the electronic movement of information. In this chapter, we are going to compare different types of networks. We will then describe the wireline communications media and transmission technologies. Next, we will describe the most common methods for accessing the Internet. We will not cover network applications in this course video. We will describe and define what a computer network is and the various types of computer networks in this section. A computer network is a system that connects computers and other devices via communications media so that data and information can be transmitted among them. We need to understand two key terms here, bandwidth and broadband. Bandwidth refers to the transmission capacity of a network. It is stated in bits per second or BPS. The basic idea is the greater the bandwidth, the more information you can send in a given amount of time. Broadband is a transmission capacity greater than 4 megabits or 25 million bits per second downstream, that is, from the network to you, and greater than 1 megabit or 4 million bits per second upstream, which is you uploading to the network. One thing we need to pay attention here is the definition of broadband is changing over time. Okay, let's take a look at the various types of computer networks. Local area network, wide area network, and enterprise network. Local area networks, we also call it as LAN. It is a computer network in a limited geographical area, say within a building, so that every device on the network can communicate with every other device. Most LANs today use Ethernet, which we will discuss later in the chapter. Many LANs have a file server or network server, which is a computer that contains various software and data for the network. It allows you to share the software among the computers on the network. This figure in the slide shows a typical LAN. We can see the shared cable here, and each computer or workstation is connected to the other ones via the shared cable. We can also find the printer and file server in this LAN. A wide area network or WAN is a network that connects computers that covers a large geographic area. Typically, you will see these wide area networks consist of multiple local area networks. Generally, they are provided by the common carriers, the telephone companies, and the international networks of global communication service providers, such as AT&T in the United States. Wide area networks have large capacity and they typically combine multiple channels. The Internet is an example of wide area network. Okay, let's think about this question: whether our campus network is a WAN or a LAN. Okay, this is a little bit tricky question. Actually, our campus network is smaller than a typical WAN, but larger than a typical LAN. Why is that? Usually, a campus area network can span multiple buildings within a specific area, and usually they have several LANs connected via switches and routers and then combine to create a single network for the campus. That's why I said a campus network, the size is a little bit larger than LAN but smaller than a typical WAN. A large corporation that has many locations may have a backbone network that ties all of the locations together. For example, a server cluster can be accessed by different departments of a company that are located at different geographical locations via enterprise networks. Corporate backbone networks are high-speed central networks to which multiple smaller networks such as LANs and smaller WANs connect. Here is an example of corporate backbone network. We can see that this corporate backbone network connects different LANs from different departments in the company. In this video clip, we studied 3 types of a computer network. In the next video clip, we'll learn the wireline communications media and transmission technologies.